All right. So, uh, my idea for building my legacy on a budget is pretty much just talking about things originally. Just having conversations like this with the camera. It reminds me a lot about what we called again. What was that show? The Real World, where they had like I think 7 strangers or 8 strangers come together, and for I think 6 months. I think it's 6 months that they would basically would live together, and they would have these little confession rooms where they'll have the video on camera in there, but they also like cameras all over the place. And it was kind of like a experiment, a social experiment to see on how people who don't know each other how they would act. And that show, me coming from that particular time, I I was excited. I was always like interested in all these new ways that people were trying to figure out how people can be in the public. Um, Me growing up where my parents and my family was very private, to move into a public, you know, setting was quite interesting to go from both. The idea of like using the internet. I remember I actually, just to move forward into another topic, was I used to have this thing called America Online and eWorld. I think Prodigy, like it was like all these different like chat room, like social internet online chat rooms where you would just get in and talk to people, and of course you would always get like the people who complain about, oh, there's somebody out there, they're going to be like a pedophile or they're going to be a murderer out there, and it's like, yes, there are people out there that's bad, but there are also good people that's out there, and um, you know, I thought that was one thing that brought me to those things were games. Being able to play video games online or being able to just talk to people and just see what they're saying. It was great. Um, but I think that being able to have that was an opportunity to see opportunities of just talking to random people. Some people I know have found a lot of different things online. Like I think one of my friends got married. Meeting somebody I knew online. I knew somebody that was able to get a job by working online, and there's other things that's come on further than that. But as in my family, I was always the first one to adopt like the next big thing. Having like the MacBook Pro or the iMac. I was always the first person having that. I was always interested in AOL and stuff like that, and it has a lot to do about earlier. My parents, my uncle, he was basically the tech person in the family who was able to get me computers and got me interested in Apple computers and stuff like that. And I continued to buy them all the way up until even to this day. But um, but I actually feel that the idea of games and like technology have always been something I've always loved, like being a part of. It was always great to have a how would I say it? It was always great for me to have like something new to talk about or to think about. I honestly, fun fact, I didn't even have a I didn't even have a idea on like who Steve Jobs was. When I was, I didn't start paying attention to Steve Jobs until the iPhone was actually presented by him, and in 2007. And that's when like every year I was paying attention to Steve Jobs a lot more, and and like I realized that the world was getting smaller. There was like a lot of things going on. We were doing a lot more as a society, and I wanted to be a part of that. And I think that now, with 2020 around, here, we need to find some way to document these things, and we shouldn't just leave it up to the media, or the people who have the most followers to make those decisions. We can actually use the social media as a way to tag ourselves and what we want to hear and how we want to hear it, and get people to kind of who are also interested in those things to kind of document those things. Everybody's information, everybody's experiences is valuable and golden. Everybody is very important and it's very valuable to see other people's reflection about those things. So I definitely think that it would be best for us to do these things. I actually always wanted to go ahead and make videos like every single day, but was never really in the situation to actually do it. This being working remotely or being home is allowing a lot of that opportunity. I mean, I did try it when I was trying to commute back and forth to work and stuff like that. It did work, but I think that is now I can see that it's great to actually have, and I would like to continue to do it because it would be great to see like me as I get older, how it actually is and what I actually have learned, what I said before, what I'm saying now. I'm being able to change those things at my fingertips will be great. Of course, I can still have like more, I don't know, I don't want to say professional content, but more mainstream content that aligns with the rules of YouTube and whatnot, but I don't really want to do that. I really want to just have like a conversation where I'm just me just talking and me just getting these ideas out there and talking about it and trying to make sure that I'm paying attention to what's going on around me in a way to talk about it, because I think that kind of conversation is it's not really done too well, and too well as in it's not done in a way that helps. It doesn't like we don't do I feel like editing sometimes can take away from those things. Like we think that we don't want we feel like we don't want people to know certain things, and it's just like, okay, you don't want people to know. Okay, great, but there are certain things you do want people to know. There's certain things you do want to talk about, and I think that the media, like entertainment industry, like the way we look at TV, the way we look at games and sports and the news, it's always presented to us as if that we don't know anything and they know everything. And it's just like, that may be true in some aspect. There may be a lot of people who would do a lot of research and figure out what's going on and what isn't. But for me, I think that, after a few years, you realize something, like I wish I would have had some video content about what I was thinking about doing right after high school. I wish I would have made like a whole bunch of videos back then. And then I wish I had some videos like right after I finished college, and then I wish I would have had, I actually have some videos somewhere, because I decided I was actually like entertaining this idea of writing, of making videos for about 10 years. But I haven't, and they're actually online, they're in different places. I have to go ahead and have to dig them out. It's rough to actually, to actually keep up with it. The medium for storing data has changed. I went from CDs to DVDs pluses to hard drive, 80 gig hard drives to 200 gig hard drives to cloud storage, and it's just spread across all these different mediums. And the space on the iPhone has grown tremendously, and now we have this cloud source, device. And then there was some videos online too, that I wanted to kind of keep up. But one thing I want to be able to do is try to see if I could just keep up with it, in a way to just talk about these things and just document it in some shape or form that allows me or whomever wants to be able to, to play with it can, That's what I'm getting at with the legacy thing. It's just like you have to, I think it's best to start thinking about it, now. I like it right now. I'm looking at a lot of people who are a little bit older than me, reading their content, watching their shows, reading their books, and listening to their podcasts to try to see how they looking at life, and what they think people should talk about. And it's great to be able to now get information about learning how to do something or learning about a particular skill and then getting better from that particular experience. And like I actually spent a lot of time listening to masterclass, and I feel like it's important to kind of have like an idea to learn from other people and build things from people from like not just lectures but just conversations that helps you to think about things, you know. I have some video games that I really grew up with, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of things that we could talk about but we don't really get a chance to talk about, you know. I don't think I think that, you know, it's just, you know, or maybe it's actually not even a big deal, and that it's only going to be interesting to somebody who actually knows me or cares about me. But like I think that that learning about myself or learning about the things around me really takes conversations like this. There's me looking at the camera right now and talking. Like I don't really spend too much time looking at myself on the camera, you know. And like when I do the workouts, for example, I spend time doing workouts every single day, and you know, I'm pretty good at it. Like me, 98% of the time I'm doing the workouts, and I feel like I'm more prone to try to like do the workout properly when I'm looking at myself. But when I'm not looking at myself and I'm just doing the work, if it's not out there with when I know somebody could see it, I don't necessarily perform at my best. I won't do that extra sit up because I know that I'm the only one that's gonna deal with it. That is what I want to get away from. I don't want to have that feeling of not regret but laziness. The level of procrastination can go really bad. And right now in this society, I think that we're going to be moving into this level where we won't have to do much, and that if we want to do anything, we're going to have a lot more motivation and discipline in order to get there. So practicing these things are going to be really important, you know. So that's kind of the things I'm trying to, you know, put into like these little videos. I will want to be able to sit back and have a conversation where I may say one thing I believe for a couple of days or two, and then later on, you know, maybe come back a year or two and then say, oh, you know, I don't think that's what it is, and then conceive what I'm saying, you know. Yeah, it'd be great to kind of do something like that in a way to kind of just reflect on like how I'm growing and how I'm learning. Because if I don't do this, like, you know, and then later on I want to reflect on something, I only have when I actually remembered in my head at the time, you know. People around you can talk, but everybody's not really storing information the same exact way. And I would hope that in this video that people can tell me why they don't think that having what was I gonna say? Having their, like, recording their life or documenting their life in such a way that helps them to understand where they want to go and stuff like that. Instead of me trying to portray myself to be like this, like, what you call it again? Like this supreme, or like not superior, but like, you know, just perfect being. It's like, no, I have a lot of things. I actually was doing things one way and changing them as time went on. And I've noticed that, these are just some of the things that you have to do in life. But what happens is that people around us, I don't think we have a time where we say, well, I made a mistake here and I didn't do this, and you know, you shouldn't do that, and you should look at this. We don't really spend too much time. And one of the reasons why is because the people around me are working people. You know, they live here, they take care of their families there, and they are focused on that. And focusing on yourself, like now, like when I'm focusing on myself, this is a luxury. Like, to be able to sit down and talk about these things, this is a luxury. You don't get this unless you actually have a lot of, you spent a lot of time creating an environment to be able to do this. And that's kind of like how I'm looking at right now. I like how I actually said that. Like, basically being able to document your lifestyle is a luxury. There is somebody around that could find some value of it, but you have to kind of find time to talk about these things. And that's kind of like where it is, you know. So in my next couple of videos, I want to start talking about like how you can actually get these videos to put, you know, how to find videos and find the information that you want to talk about and get the narrative that you want to drive for your own business or your own ideas in such a way that it allows people around you to to be willing to listen to you, you know. And hopefully what I'm doing is I will get better at doing these kind of videos and probably be able to become more professionally capable of talking about, you know, different things, you know, under 15 minutes, for example, because I'm already over 15 minutes. And you know, and that'll be it, you know. And then maybe be able to drop these little nuggets of information on a regular basis. But yeah, that's it. All right, see you guys in the next video.